Hey guys, how's it going? It's Danconia here, and welcome back to the Overwatch World Cup Roundup 2019 Team Australia preview. It's time to go down under and take a look at the team ranked at number 7, Australia. Australia have always seemed to come up short in the World Cup and have failed to take that next step. They have qualified for every World Cup, but once there, have not been able to get past the first phase of the competition when it's been held at Anaheim. They were knocked out in the group stages in 2016, finishing behind South Korea and Finland. No shame there. But in the past 2 years, they have been dealt a harsh hand as they have faced Canada in 2017 and South Korea again in 2018 in their first games. They would always find it hard to knock out these teams. Maybe this year, if they can get past the preliminaries, they can have a bit of luck for once. Team Australia have a rather small organisation, especially compared to the last team we looked at. Their general managers are QT. Their two coaches are Gumba, who has recently had spells with the Boston Uprising and LA Valiant, and Face, who is currently a coach at Talent Esports, who exceeded expectations at the Contenders Gauntlet a few weeks ago. Their community leader is Frogger, who has played at the pro level before, but now I believe he streams a lot on Twitch. Well-known Lucio main, if you didn't guess by the name. Now, time to move into the roster for Australia this year. Last time around, I did hint that a big name will be missing for Australia this year, and that would be Custa. Admirably, he has decided not to take up the opportunity to feature for Team Australia this year so that new younger talent can come through the ranks and get their chance at Blizzcon. A great gesture from Custa, but it might cost the team in the long run. Let's take a look at the supports for Australia then. And with Custa not featuring, there has been a substantial change in the support line for the team. This year we will see Tung and Unter line up in the support slots for Australia. Tung currently plays for Warriors Esports in Contenders Australia, but has also had spells with Blank Esports and Four Legs in the region. Unter is currently playing for Order, also in Contenders Australia, but has also had spells at Blank Blue and Your Name here in Australia as well. A very experienced pair of supports for Team Australia who have been around the Australian Contenders scene for a long time. On to the tanks then. And this is where we get to see some of that 2018 World Cup roster return for this year. Their main tank will be Trill, who you may know from the Dallas Fuel. Trill has been around the Overwatch esports scene for a long time, going back to his days at Jam Gaming in 2016. He has also had spells at Blank Esports and Team Envy before moving up to the Overwatch League. His experience at the highest level will be crucial for Australia, as he is the only member of that squad with Overwatch League experience. He is partnered with Punk, who will fill the off-tank role. Punk featured last year for Team Australia and currently plays for the Uprising Academy in America. He also has had spells at the Sydney Drop Bears and Dark-Sided. A tank duo with synergy that should already be built up from last year's World Cup is a good sign for Australia. Lastly, we take a look at the DPS for Australia, which may actually be the weak point of this team. First up, we have Aita, who is returning to the Australian roster after being left out last year. He last featured at the 2017 World Cup. He is not currently signed to a team after leaving the academy team of the Shanghai Dragons, Team CC, earlier this year. Alongside him, Australia will be fielding CKM. This is likely to be CKM's last World Cup, as he has recently retired from competitive Overwatch after leaving Sydney Drop Bears earlier this year. He also has had spells with Blank Esports and Jam Gaming. There is a wealth of upcoming talent in this Overwatch World Cup Australian team, and we may see some of these players on big stages regularly in the future, but I do worry about the in-game leadership of this team. The Custa figure, if you like. Custa is fantastic at leading a team during a match or in the middle of a map, saying the right things when the team needs a lift. I feel that it may fall to Trill to fill this role. With his Overwatch League experience, he has got some big shoes to fill. This Australian team has the ability to cause some surprises at this World Cup, but for me it is hard to tell just where this team lands, considering the teams around them. The first hurdle is to get through the preliminaries, and there are a few teams lurking just outside that top 10 now, such as Japan, New Zealand, Brazil and Denmark, amongst others, who might be able to put a spanner in the works for this Australian team. But that will do it for our look at Team Australia prior to this year's Overwatch World Cup. And we are getting towards the end of the preliminaries now, with only one team to have an in-depth look at that is outside of the top 10. The problem is, that is going to be very hard for me not to get biased when it comes to the team that's up next. Next time we take a look at the team ranked 6th and just missed out on that automatic qualification. It's the United Kingdom, the team that made quite a splash at last year's World Cup. But, for now, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a like, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you in the next video. See you then!